Look, you walk into a gun shop thinking you know rifles. You've seen the walnut, you've seen the bluing, you think that's as good as it gets. But here's the truth nobody tells you. The guys running these boutique gun companies don't just build rifles for anniversaries. They build time capsules, loaded, chambered, and ready to send lead down range. We're talking about receivers carved from a single billet of steel, titanium actions ripped straight out of an aerospace lab, and gold inlay work that took master engravers months by hand. Honestly, some of these rigs were never meant to see 100 copies, let alone 1,000. One on this list, only 25 exist on the entire planet. So stick around, because by the time we hit number 1, you are going to understand why serious collectors call this stuff wearable history, and why the price tag on some of these will make your jaw hit the floor. Let's get into it. Moving on, let's kick things off with rank number 8. The Henry New Original Deluxe Engraved 25th Anniversary Edition. Look, this one goes all the way back to 1860. Benjamin Tyler Henry patented a lever action system so reliable, soldiers used to say you could load it on Sunday and shoot it all week. That original Henry rifle only ran for 6 short years, but the name never died. Henry Repeating Arms brought it back, and this rifle right here celebrates 25 years of that modern rebirth. Here's the mechanic's insight. This thing runs on a toggle link action, a folding metal linkage that snaps straight and locks the bolt in place the instant you close the lever. It is old-world engineering, but Henry rebuilt it with modern metallurgy under the skin, so it holds up to way more rounds than the original ever could. Now, the original Henry fed on a rimfire cartridge that flat out does not exist anymore. So this rifle feeds on 4440 WCF. Instead, a pistol-class round that still hits hard out of a rifle barrel, and it rides in a tube magazine holding 13 rounds. That is a serious stack of firepower for a lever gun. The barrel runs 24.5 inches, full octagon, blued steel, with a slow one in 36 twist. Sights are old school too. A bare metal blade up front, folding ladder sight in the rear. Here's the deal breaker. This rifle does not have a modern manual safety. It relies on a half-cock notch on the hammer, just like 1860. If you grew up on a tang safety or a crossbolt, that is going to feel like stepping back in time, and not everybody is comfortable with that. Now for the sensory side. Under the hood, the CEO himself hand-picked rosewood over walnut for this build. A deep red-toned wood that shrugs off dings a lot better than walnut ever could. Paired with a polished brass receiver and a crescent butt plate, this rifle throws a warm, almost fiery look you do not see on the rack. The brass itself is covered edge to edge in hand-finished scroll and vine engraving, with the anniversary medallion and Roman numerals 25 stamped right into the metal. Henry built exactly 2,500 of these, every single one serial numbered, starting at 25 Henry 0001. Street price sets you back $3,990. Next up, rank number 7. The Browning BAR Mark III 50th Anniversary Edition. Let's be real. Most guys hear BAR and think military hardware. That is not this. This civilian rifle was dreamed up by Marcel Ollinger and Bruce Warren Browning, yeah, grandson of John Moses Browning himself, and it hit shelves back in 1967. Over 1 million of these have shipped since then, making it the gold standard for semi-auto big game hunting. Here's the mechanic's insight, and it is a good one. This rifle runs on gas operation. Burning powder kicks gas through a port under the barrel, driving a piston backward. That energy travels through thin steel pushrods into a heavy inertia block, and that block's weight is what spins open a 7-lug rotary bolt locked into the barrel itself, not the receiver. Because the bolt locks into the barrel and not the action, Browning could build the receiver out of aluminum alloy, shedding weight without losing an ounce of safety. That slow gas impulse combined with the moving inertia block soaks up a chunk of the recoil too. Feeds on cartridges like 306 Springfield, 300 Winchester Magnum, and 308, and they hit a whole lot softer out of this gun than out of a bolt action. This anniversary build carries Browning's Super Feather trigger, zero creep, zero mush, just a clean break. Barrel runs 21 inches, fluted for cooling and weight savings. Now, here's the deal breaker, and this one is financial. Browning split this anniversary run into two tiers. The standard run, 1,000 rifles, nickel-plated receiver, engraved hunting scenes of wild boar and stag, gold-accented scrollwork, grade 4 walnut. That one sets you back €24.99. But the exclusive tier, only 50 rifles worldwide, hand-finished engraving, heavier gold inlay, grade 5 walnut, a custom leather case that jumps all the way to €44.90. If you want the real crown jewel here, be ready to nearly double your budget. Stepping up the game now, rank number 6, the Weatherby Mark V, 80th Anniversary Commemorative. Honestly, Roy Weatherby built his entire company on one obsession back in 1945. Light bullets, moving stupid fast, hitting so hard they cause hydrostatic shock. This rifle is built to celebrate 80 years of that philosophy. Here's the mechanic's insight, and this is where it gets serious. The action itself is machined from titanium instead of steel. It runs 9 locking lugs, staggered across 3 rows, giving it a massive amount of locking surface to handle the brutal pressures of Weatherby Magnum cartridges. That 9-lug layout also lets the bolt open with just a 54-degree throw, the shortest bolt lift you will find on a traditional bolt gun. That means faster follow-up shots, and your hand never clips the scope during the cycle. The barrel is carbon-wrapped, built by BSF, a thin stainless steel core wrapped under tension in a carbon fiber shell. That construction sheds weight, dumps heat faster, and keeps this rifle shooting sub-MOA even through a hot string of shots. Up front, it is running a detachable AccuBrake DST, a directional muzzle brake built to tame the 300 Weatherby Magnum it feeds on. Trigger duty goes to TriggerTech Zero Creep, brakes like glass. Now, here's the deal breaker, and it is pure ergonomics this time. That titanium action and fluted bolt body are coated in diamond-like carbon for a reason. This thing is a technology showcase first, and a traditional hunting rifle second. If you are the type who wants a plain Jane walnut stick with zero flash, this rifle is going to feel like overkill in your hands. Under the hood, the stock is exhibition-grade walnut, the rarest tier Weatherby offers. Hand-rubbed with an oil finish, paired with rosewood accents on the fore-end cap and grip, separated by thin maple spacers. The titanium receiver itself carries filigree engraving, and etched right into that DLC-coated bolt body is Roy Weatherby's own motto, TRT, Tomorrow's Rifles Today. Every rifle in this run carries an 80- serial prefix, sets you back right around $12,499. I know the traditionalists are already typing angry comments about titanium receivers on a hunting rifle, but sound off below. Would you run this one in the field or keep it in the safe? Entering the elite tier now, rank number 5, the Savage Model 110, 125th Anniversary Edition. Look, this one is not about flash. It is about survival. Nicholas Brewer patented this action back in 1958, and it earned the title of the longest continuously produced bolt-action rifle in North America, beating out even Winchester's Model 70 and Remington's Model 700, both of which got interrupted by company shakeups. This design is the reason Savage still exists at all. Back in 1988, this rifle alone pulled the company back from bankruptcy. Here's the mechanic's insight. Most bolt guns thread the barrel straight into the receiver. permanent, fixed. Savage does it different. This action uses a barrel nut and a recoil lug, so a gunsmith can dial in the headspace with total precision, no lathe required. On top of that, the bolt head floats. It self-aligns with the chamber every single time you close the bolt, maximizing lug contact and tightening up accuracy in a way fixed actions cannot match. This anniversary rifle keeps the 22-inch button rifle barrel, and it runs Savage's AccuTrigger fully adjustable pull weight with a trigger pull that will not fire unless that little blade in the middle is fully depressed, so safety and precision live side by side. Chambering options span real Savage history here. 250 Savage, the first commercial round in the world to break 3,000 feet per second back in 1915, alongside 300 Savage, 6.5 Creedmoor, 243, and 308. Now here's the deal breaker, and it is aesthetics this time. Savage built its whole reputation on function over flash. Plain, honest, working rifles. So even dressed up for an anniversary, this one still will not turn heads standing next to a Mauser or a Weatherby. If you are buying for wall hanger looks, this is not your rifle. Under the hood, Savage ditched the usual polymer and went with high-gloss black walnut, complete with a raised Monte Carlo cheek piece for a cleaner sight picture down a scope. The receiver and the detachable 4+1 magazine are engraved with ribbon detailing and the 125 years logo. Bolt handle is checkered for grip, and the grip cap wears the old warrior head medallion, Savage's classic brand mark. Only 1894 of these exist. Price tag comes in at $14.99. Now we get serious. Rank number 4, the Mauser 98, 125th Anniversary Limited Edition. Here's the deal. Every bolt-action rifle on this earth owes something to this design. 1898, that is when Mauser locked in the action that every single modern bolt gun still copies, and nobody has ever truly beaten it for reliability. This anniversary build was made by master gunsmiths at the Mauser factory itself, styled straight out of the golden age of African safari rifles. Here's the mechanic's insight, and this is the big one. This action runs controlled round feed. A massive claw extractor grabs the case rim the second it leaves the magazine and holds it locked all the way into the chamber, no matter what angle you are shooting from, no matter how hard the rifle is kicking. When you are staring down dangerous game, that is not a luxury, that is survival. The receiver itself is machined and drilled from a single oversized forged steel billet, built stout enough to handle magnum pressure without flexing. This anniversary run comes in two families. The Magnum version feeds on 375 H&H or 416 Rigby, and that Rigby chambering is not random. John Rigby and Company developed that round back in 1911, specifically to max out the square bridge Mauser action. Over 5,000 foot-pounds of energy, the gold standard for professional hunters in Africa. The standard version instead feeds on 30-06 or 8x57 IS. Now, here's the deal breaker, and it is pure financial pain. Mauser only built 25 of these rifles for the entire planet. Every one is individually numbered on the trigger guard. Base price, $35,000. And feeding a 416 Rigby is not cheap either. This is not a rifle you casually take to the range on a random Tuesday. Under the hood, the metalwork goes through color case hardening, a heat-treating process that bakes a super hard shell onto the surface while keeping the steel core soft and flexible underneath, so it resists wear without ever getting brittle. That process alone throws off swirling, one-of-a-kind color clouds on every receiver. Layer on top of that English scroll engraving, gold damascening, and a gold inlaid Mauser crest. The stock is grade 8 walnut, about as rare as walnut gets, finished with fish scale checkering on the grip and bolt knob. I have to be honest with you, this rifle is a monster. But wait until you see what takes the #1 spot, because it makes even this look almost reasonable. Closer to the crown now, rank number 3. The Marlin Model 444 150th Anniversary Edition. Look, 2020 marked a century and a half since John Malin Marlin started this company, and this rifle honors Marlin's signature side eject lever action, plus one of the hardest-hitting lever gun cartridges ever built. Here's the mechanic's insight. Most Marlins run a shallow micro-groove rifling pattern. This anniversary build does not. It uses ballard-cut rifling instead, 6 deep grooves, 1 in 20 twist, a style that traces straight back to 19th century custom rifles. That deeper groove pattern stabilizes both solid copper bullets and old-school cast lead bullets equally well, and it holds accuracy through more rounds before you need to run a brush through it. The 444 Marlin cartridge itself has a wild origin story. Back in 1964, engineers at Marlin and Remington necked down unfinished 30-06 brass and turned the rims to build this round from scratch. It runs almost an inch longer than a .44 Magnum case, and it operates at up to 42,000 pounds per square inch. That lets it push 240 or 265 grain bullets at .430 caliber, with energy that rivals a 30-06 at close range. In thick timber, chasing bear, hogs, or moose, that kind of knockdown power close up is exactly what you want. Now, here's the deal breaker, and it is a performance quirk. That 444 cartridge is a brute at close range, but it sheds energy fast, past 150 yards or so. Push your shot out too far and you are going to feel the difference. This is a woods gun, plain and simple, not a long-range tool. Under the hood, the receiver wears a deep salt-blued finish, and both sides are engraved with rolling scroll work paired with a gold inlaid JM Marlin signature. The barrel itself is a rare half-octagon, half-round configuration running 24 inches, a direct callback to 19th century special order rifles. Stock is pistol grip black walnut, C-grade, topped off with a rubber recoil pad and traditional checkering. Sighting comes from Skinner sights, a ladder rear sight paired with a white bead front post. Whole rifle tips the scale around 7 pounds. Tube fed, 6 rounds. Sets you back $1,900. Entering the elite tier, deeper now, rank number 2. The Winchester Model 94, 150th Commemorative. Here's the deal. 2016 marked a century and a half since Oliver Winchester started this company. And out of everything they released that year, this rifle is the one true diehards care about. It carries the soul of the Old West, built on a design so important it changed the entire ammunition industry. Here's the mechanic's insight. This action was designed by John Moses Browning himself, and it was the very first lever gun in history strong enough to handle smokeless powder pressures. Winchester paid Browning $15,000 for the rights back then, and that bet turned into over 7.5 million rifles sold. The lever action locks up tight, and the floor plate at the bottom of the receiver drops open when you cycle the lever, exposing the internals. It feeds on 30-30 Winchester, the very first smokeless sporting cartridge ever sold in America, a round that permanently outclassed old black powder loads for accuracy and knockdown power. Now, here's the deal breaker, and it is financial this time. Winchester never released an exact production number on this commemorative, which is exactly the point. Nobody knows how few exist, and that uncertainty alone drives the price up. You are not just paying for a rifle here, you are paying for a mystery. Under the hood, the receiver is finished in silver nitride and covered edge to edge in deep relief scroll engraving in the Ulrich style. The classic Winchester horse and rider medallion sits right on the side, wrapped in gold accents. The barrel is a full octagon, 24 inches, polished deep, wrapped in gold banding with hand-engraved anniversary script. Stock is straight grip, grade 5 or 6 black walnut, hand-oiled, finished with old-school spade-style checkering, and the crescent butt plate and fore-end cap match that silver nitride finish. Runs an 8-round tube magazine, 1 in 12 twist. Price tag comes in at $2669.99. This one is solid, real solid. But wait until you see the monster taking the crown at number 1. Taking the crown now, rank number 1, the Remington Model 700, 200th Anniversary Limited Edition. Here's the deal. 2016 marked 200 years since Eliphalet Remington forged his very first rifle barrel by hand in Ilion, New York. 2 centuries of American gun-making, and this rifle carries that entire weight on its shoulders. Here's the mechanic's insight. The Model 700 Action runs Remington's famous 3 rings of steel design. The recessed bolt face, the barrel breech, and the receiver ring all wrap completely around the case head, so if a case ever lets go, you are protected on every side. That same tight tolerance lets this action run some of the fastest lock times in the industry, just 3.2 milliseconds from trigger break to firing pin strike, which cuts down on the tiny human errors that throw a shot off target. This anniversary rifle feeds on 7mm Remington Magnum, the round that defined the Magnum era back in the 60s, flat shooting, fast, and hard-hitting enough for anything walking around North America. Trigger duty goes to the X-Mark Pro system, fully adjustable right out of the box. Now, here's the deal breaker, and I will be straight with you. There really is not much to complain about here. Maybe the biggest knock is availability. Remington built exactly 2,016 of these, 1 for every year of the anniversary, and once they were gone, they were gone. Under the hood, the stock is C-grade walnut with fleur-de-lis checkering, a nod straight back to old French gun-making tradition. The steel floor plate carries a 24-karat gold inlay, depicting Eliphalet Remington himself, walking with that very first hand-forged barrel. The grip cap wears a gold-plated anniversary medallion, and the whole rifle ships in a custom display case with a certificate of authenticity and Remington's own historical timeline. Price tag lands at $23.99. So why does this one take the throne over everything else on this list? Look at number 4, the Mauser 98, $35,000, only 25 built, an absolute masterpiece of controlled round feed. But you are paying safari money for a rifle. Most guys will never fire outside a range day. Then look at number 2, the Winchester 94. Beautiful, historic, but it is a lever gun, built for brush country, not precision work. This Remington gives you the trusted 3 rings of steel reliability that put over 5 million rifles into hunters' hands worldwide, wrapped in hand-done gold inlay work that puts Winchester's engraving to shame, at a price point that will not put you in debt. That is the difference between a monster in a glass case and a rifle you can actually build a legacy with. That is the list. 8 rifles, 200 years of gun-making history, all boiled down into steel, wood, and gold. From the old-world toggle link of the Henry, all the way up to the 3 rings of steel wearing that crown at number 1, every single one of these rifles tells you the same thing. Real craftsmanship never goes out of style. It just gets passed down. Train hard, stay safe, and I will see you downrange.